Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to turn this into this. I'll be showing you how to make the outside of your house, the ground floor of your house, and I'll also be showing you how to make the second floor of your house as well. Before you can make the inside of the house, you are first going to have to make the outside, which I'm sure many of you guys will have, but if you haven't yet made this part of the build that you can see behind me, check out the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section for the original house tutorial. And once you have got that made, we can continue on. Here are all of the materials that we are going to be starting off with, ladies and gentlemen. As we progress through the build, we will be using different materials. Some of them will be repeats, but we're going to go on a room by room basis for what we are going to use, just so that we don't get all muddled up. Make sure you have all that stuff, and once you do, we can begin. Step 1, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get a lot of things done quickly. So, we're going to focus on the outside first of all. We need our terracotta, and we need to come to the left side of our garage. We're going to place a terracotta left of the garage and extend that forwards by 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Not only do we want a row of 13 on that left side, but we want the same length row on this right side. I'm not sure it counts out to be 13 because the house is uneven, of course, but just make sure that it is the same row on both sides. We're going to place ferns or some sort of little grassy plant next to the terracotta, so feel free to do exactly that. We're going to place sand on the insides of the rows of plants. And I'm going to use stone pressure plates to look like rocks. So you can use buttons to achieve this effect, you can use stone pressure plates, you can use carpet, you can use a whole mixture of materials. But I just want kind of a rocky appearance, and I didn't want to flood my inventory with stuff. But there's many different ways that you can achieve that effect right there. So what else does the house need? The house needs a driveway. So the house needs a driveway and a path that will actually lead us to the entrance. So if we dig out a bit around the entrance, and this is going to be a little bit sloppy, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to take your own initiative here a little bit. So you're probably going to want to dig about 3 rows or so in front of the entrance, and then you're going to want to dig a little bit more, but you're going to want to curve the path. We're going to try and maintain, say, about a width of 3, and we're going to fill this in using some smooth stone. As long as we've got some sort of curved path which will lead us off to the side, which is where the garage is, then we're pretty good. So something like this will do just fine, and if we just lead off these last 3 or so blocks off to the side here, and we want them to kind of cover the width towards the garage, so these rows are going to kind of stop there once we hit the sand. We don't want the entire garage area, we don't want this entire area to be a drive, but if we come to where the end of these stairs are, and we kind of like dig from here, and we kind of continue going, so like we found the other bit of land, if we kind of like dig kind of like a diagonal shape, and then that gives us like a width of about 4, and then we kind of like dig towards the end of where our drive would be, kind of like this, then that looks pretty good. So just to kind of like give you a bit of a visual representation, I think that that will look pretty good as a drive. There's no need to make it like really wide, unless you want to, say, put multiple cars on here, but I quite like just the kind of like curved appearance, kind of like that. So we'll leave that as it is. That obviously has to be dug out and replaced with stone. We want to add some hedging just left of the entrance area here, which is just going to be some leaves. We'll dig here and have some smooth stone. We want to have some hedging around the path that we just created that kind of leads to our driveway. So just like that, should look fine. I want to have some sand around it as well. I like the idea of having some sand. For some reason in my mind it complements the colour of the house quite a bit. Kind of like the sand colour and the light grey and the white, all just seems to go together. I'm going to place a little bit of birch fence around this as well. just kind of sparingly, just to make it kind of look like maybe perhaps a support structure or something like that. But actually, it just looks kind of cool. Now that we've done that, the area all the way to the right of this, and I do mean all of it, like all of this, so basically from the end of the driveway here, all the way to the sand on the opposite side, and everywhere in between is going to be grass. But it's not going to be real grass, it's going to be fake grass. It's going to be made out of lime terracotta. If you want fancy looking lawn lines, then you will use a mixture of lime terracotta and green terracotta, but that's going to be completely up to you as to whether or not you want to do that. So I am quite happy just having the regular lime terracotta, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, where you alternate a pattern of lime terracotta and green terracotta in some sort of pattern, like it will give you kind of like a really nice cleanly cut lawn effect, and that's what we kind of have at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I know it looks really messy, but if you just imagine in your mind the fact that we're going to dig out the center of the lime terracotta, replace it with lime terracotta, and we're going to dig out the center of the smooth stone area and we're going to replace it with smooth stone, then everything becomes a little bit less messy. But now we're going to flip around towards the back of the house, and we have a few things to do. So I want to extend the terracotta wall that we have on the left side of the house. I want to extend it back, and I kind of want to have it poke out the back a little bit. I want to come to the opposite side as well, and I want to extend the wall, and I want to extend the wall all the way backwards. It's going to hang out of the back of the house a little bit, probably maybe just that one row there, and then it's going to extend across, and it's kind of going to be even and level with the back part of the house here. We can shove some oak leaves in between, we can even place it in front of the window as well, and then that kind of just adds a nice wall around the house. I'm pretty happy with that. What can we do for this point? So this point here we could use, do we have any slabs on us? We don't. So we could use slabs for this, or we can use some fence or something similar to that. And we can kind of create kind of like a little rock garden, kind of like sand garden on the back. Something similar to this sort of shape right here will do just fine. And what we can do is we can use some andesite just to vary materials up a little bit. And we can also dig out inside of the porch area here that we have on the back of the house, and we can kind of just replace this with andesite, or you can use smooth stone. It's really up to you which you want to use, just to keep it a bit different. And we can extend the andesite all the way across here so that we can walk to our tiny little garden there on the right. We can then basically take this entire area, and I like the idea of just having kind of like a rock garden, a bit of a sand garden. We can add some ferns, we can use our slabs, or pressure plates as they are, they're not slabs, and we can just make it like a nice little tidy sort of garden. I'm imagining this as kind of like a newly built house in perhaps more of a desert type landscape, perhaps a drier type landscape. That's why I've kind of got like a limited sort of garden. You can even use leaves and stuff too. That's kind of why we've got the limited sort of garden, and that's why I'm using pressure plates and stuff as rocks. And I don't know, it just, that's what I'm imagining in my mind. That's where it's sort of built. So it's a very simple outdoor area. New builds typically don't get quite a lot of garden anyway. Underneath the fence, what can we do? Well, we could just add some more sand. That's a very real possibility. Or we can kind of like edge, or we could place some terracotta underneath it perhaps as well. Just kind of like as a bit of edging towards the little like the rock sand garden that we have, like this. Well, I didn't really mean to destroy that fence block. Okay, well that's fine. We'll just we'll replace that in a second. I did the same thing more than once, and then we can place. Maybe we can do that, and it can connect to there. We could even just have that kind of like a terracotta block in the middle if we wanted to. Maybe even just one on the end here too, something like that, just to make it a little bit more lively. And now that we've done that, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually done a huge part of the outside of the house. And the outside of the house isn't particularly extensive. The inside of the house is where this really does shine. Now that we've kind of like done all this outside, we are going to head towards the inside of our house because we have a lot to do in here. So, for the inside of our house, we are going to grab, and I can't believe that I don't have this on me, this is absolutely insane. We're going to need white concrete. we're going to need light grey concrete, quartz stairs, we need some doors, weighted pressure plates, we may even grab some lanterns to light things up, dark oak doors, and that's all we'll use for now. Okay, so the inside of the house is actually going to be completely light grey concrete. I'm going to dig underneath the doorway areas here where we have the glass that is visible. We only have it on the front apparently. And I want you to know that pretty much the entire downstairs except for the garage is going to be light grey concrete. And we're actually going to section off the garage right now. So, and which by the way, we will need, what will we use? We'll use smooth stone for the inside of the garage. The garage is on the left side of the build. We have a wall here on the back of the house. The wall is 2 rows away from this small window. All I want you to do is seal up the garage area using your white concrete. That's all you have to do. You can just seal it all up. If you leave, say, like a gap of 1 between the front of the garage, you can make yourself a little doorway. We can place a bit of white concrete next to the garage door, and then inside here we have what will be the garage. And as I did mention earlier, I might even show you how to make a couple of cars, or I will make a couple of cars up here and link you to the videos in which I will show you how to make a couple of cars, one of the two. And we're just going to, well, my bad, we can replace that. And this is all just going to be smooth stone. It's not a particularly complex garage, it's really just for housing cars. It's not like a utility garage, it's literally enough room for a couple of cars, maybe even a car and a bike in here will do just fine. We're going to, as I said, the rest of the floor now, like literally the entire rest of the floor, just to do a little bit of it now, all of this will be light grey concrete. So as you might be able to imagine, we're going to be ripping all of this grass up. It'll all be light grey. We're not going to be doing that on recording, but what we are going to do is we're going to figure out where these stairs are going to be. It's quite easy to figure out. On the front of the house we have a handy balcony. So this handy balcony is where the second floor level is. And if we take these 2 rows of grey concrete from the front of the balcony that kind of like lead you onto it, we can extend these back like this, and this is where the staircase is going to go. So we have a 2x2 square right here in the back of the build, and we want to maintain that 2x2 square, but we want to place rows of quartz stairs leading down from the square all the way down to the ground, and this is going to be the staircase that takes you onto the second floor, just like this. So it's just, and by the way, it also sits just 1 row away from the door of the garage. The stairs aren't particularly complex either. It's basically just going to be light grey concrete directly underneath them, as simple as that, just like this. You want to make sure that you can get up and down the stairs. I think that is the minimum amount of space, so that's great. We have to put a second floor in, so the entire second floor is going to be made out of light grey concrete. Barring the stairs, is pretty much just light grey concrete, like the entire area. So except for the area just to get up and down the stairs, you can just place your light grey concrete like this. And I am doing this particular part I'm recording because I want to be able to place some walls in. I want us to be able to do all of our walls, all of our floors, and all of the outside as well. I want to be able to do it all in one go. As you see, there's a lot of this house that just needs just quite simply just filling in a very simple fashion, and we're just going to do that. Once we have got the general structure down of the walls and all of that, we'll be able to do it off recording because it will just save a lot of video time, really. So this is the second floor. We're going to come downstairs momentarily, and we're going to introduce a wall. So on the ground floor there is a large partition wall between, and I'm getting the plans up now, which is why I'm stalling a little bit. There is a large partition wall between the living room / dining room and the kind of like the hallway entrance here. And basically it's a row of white concrete that leads between this split in the back door here. It basically leads all the way forwards like this, and it connects just opposite these windows, and we just want to fill this entire area in here using white concrete. So just a big long row of white concrete like this just right next to the back door is going to be our wall. We have to knock back into the hallway. We want to fill this little gap in here using white concrete like this. What we then want to do is, and what we can do, by the way, is we can kind of like replace some of these blocks here in the ceiling, these andesites. We can kind of replace them with grey concrete. So instead of the balcony being andesite, which looks a little bit messy, it's best to use light grey concrete really if you're going to be decorating the inside, so that the roof maintains quite a nice aesthetic. When it comes to the hole that we kind of like made here, or the wall, the hole that we need to make is going to be a particular dimension. So from the front and back of the wall on the left and right sides, you want to leave a gap of 2, and then you want to dig out everywhere in between. So you want to, from the wall here, 1, 2, dig out everything in between. Dig out another row above, and then we want to make a curve, an archway. So this is going to be easily achieved by placing a row of by knocking out a row of white concrete that is 1 row shorter on both sides. If you want, you can do that once more, but I actually don't like that. I just prefer the 2 rows, or the 3 rows as it were. When it comes to the front and the back of the house as well, we do have doors here, so we're going to use weighted pressure plates to get in and out with iron doors, so that's something that we have to do. I don't know if I actually did it in the first tutorial or not, but it would have been rendered a little bit moot since we had to destroy in and out of the house. We had to replace the floor, so there we go, we can now get in and out. There are lanterns, by the way. We can place some lanterns on the outside of the house, so like some good positions are above the entrance door here. I like the idea of them being like either side of the balcony door as well. I also like the idea of there being a lantern all the way on the back porch here, just next to this doorway as well. Just a little side note really, I guess, that we kind of strayed from the inside. I like the use of a double dark oak wood door to lead us into the garage for whatever reason. And now that we've done that, ladies and gentlemen, the lower level, the ground floor, is pretty much laid out. All this will need doing is we'll just need to rip up the floor, we'll replace it with light grey, and then we will fill it in with all of our cool stuff. But upstairs is a different story. Upstairs needs a little bit more work. It's a little bit more complex, really. So as we come upstairs, we have to make, we don't have glass on us, but that's okay. We have to make a little bit of a balcony. So we have to make, or a landing area. So we have to place white concrete next to where the stairs connects to the second level, and we have to place a row of white concrete across the base of the stairs. If you do want to quickly just grab some glass, you can just place some glass in between, and then that's pretty much how that looks. If you want a double doorway leading onto the balcony, if you want actual doors, it's up to you. You can place the similar setup that we've got down below, which is just pressure plates and just iron doors. We have a few walls to add upstairs, just a few of them. Okay, so wall number 1 is actually going to be on the back here, where we have this, like, we have a couple of sets of windows. We want to take this white concrete, and we want to extend the white concrete forwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to leave a gap of 2, and then you want to place another row of white concrete. This will go all the way forwards, and it will connect just opposite side that window there. Actually, very similar to what we have down below. I think it's actually in the same position. You can raise up these walls, and you can extend them to the ceiling, just like this, which will take a second or two. So essentially we're going to be creating a hallway. We want to fill this area in here using white concrete, so all this can just be filled in with white. So this is kind of like what the landing looks like. It's nice and open. It's really, really nice up here. We'll be adding windows later, but I'm not, since I didn't originally have the glass, I'm not going to be adding them yet. We're going to take these 2 rows of white concrete that we just placed, and we're simply going to extend them all the way to the end of the house, essentially. So we'll take the 2 separate rows of white concrete and we'll extend them all the way to the end of the house. We're going to be placing some doorways as well. I've opted not really to have many doors in the house. On the original version of the house, I didn't even have doors out onto the balcony, to be honest. I kind of just left it nice and open, and that's how I kind of feel that modern houses really shine, is the fact that they're just so nice, open, clean, and large feeling. But feel free to add doors wherever you like, but for the most part, I probably don't even really want them, and I might even get rid of those doors over there. So, doors and doorways are a different story though. On the right side here is going to be a bedroom, and if you leave, say, a gap of 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then you dig out a double wide space here, this is going to be a bedroom. And if we come to the end of the hall here and we kind of do the same thing, like 1, 2, 3, and then we dig a double wide space, this is going to be the entrance into the bathroom. Easy. So, in doing that, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually done a large amount. Oh, and also, we'll just clean up this area here. I didn't realize that this was a problem. So, just underneath these, just above this window, I'm just going to fill all that in with white concrete, and we'll see the back. The back's actually very clean. Here's fine as well, but like I said, I'm probably going to get rid of the doors because I don't really want them, but I like to throw options constantly, so feel free to add them, feel free to leave them. Downstairs, does anywhere need cleaning up specifically? No windows. This may need cleaning up. It kind of depends on the look that you're going for. If you wanted to, you can add, say, like perhaps white concrete across the top, and then that just looks so much cleaner, really, honestly. I mean, we don't have to do too much else. So, that's been a lot of talking, ladies and gentlemen, and that's been a lot of action. So what have we done? What do we need to do? It's very simple. Dig out the entire floor. All of this grass needs to be light grey concrete. Easy as that. That only applies down here. We've actually already got upstairs done. Upstairs is perfect. Destroy all the grass, replace it with light grey. In the garage, different story. Destroy all the grass, replace it with smooth stone. Outside, dig out all of the area that we've kind of marked out with the smooth stone. Dig out all the grass, replace it with smooth stone. On the right here, dig it all out, replace it with lime terracotta. These are very, very simple jobs, but they will add a lot of time to the tutorial. So I'm actually going to go away and I'm going to come back. I'm going to get all that destroyed. I'm going to replace it all. And I'll also be back with a new materials list once that has been done, because once that has been done, we can then start decorating the inside, which is very exciting. So back in a moment. So this is what the house will look like once you have completed those steps. As you can see, the front garden looks significantly better. All we've done is we have placed the grass and the driveway, but it makes a huge difference. Everything else was already done, all of the hedging, the sand, and the plants. And just to show you the back of the house, we had already completed that anyway, so absolutely no change there. All of that was already done. If we head inside, we will now have everything that we need to progress. We have completely revamped the floor with the light grey concrete. We have all of our walls. We have everything looking nice and clean. We even did the garage floor. And if we head upstairs, very, very important that all of these walls and floors are already here for us. So, very well done. All we have to do now is all of that decorating, like I said. So, if you want to decorate the first part of the inside of your house, you will need all of these materials that I am now showing you on the screen right now. Please do make sure that you have all these materials or some variation of them, and enough of them as well. And once you do have all of that stuff, we can get started. So the first room that we're going to tackle is the hallway. The hall is very simple, really. We want to have, as we walk in the entrance to the house, the main entrance, I want to have an armor stand in this corner with a double chest, so you can walk in and you can chuck off your armor. Feel free to place any set of armor that you would like right in this stand. I want to create a rug. The rug is going to be in between the archway. It's going to sit one row in between the archway as well, so it's not going to touch the edges. And we want to add probably 4 rows, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it kind of sits nicely in the middle of the floor like this. It takes up a large amount of the space that we have in the hallway, and it keeps things nice and simple. It's primarily going to be white, but I'm going to add specks of light grey and grey to the rug, kind of like this, and kind of like a random shape, kind of like so, a random pattern. It will just look really, really nice like this. It keeps the house looking nice, big and open. We don't want to overflood this house. It's very modern. When it comes to the lighting in here, end rods are very simple. If you place one end rod towards the left side here, and then you can place another end rod. If you, say, leave a gap and go to the right, then you can place, say, like 2 end rods, something like that, extending down from the ceiling. And then if you, say, like forwards from this end rod, leave a gap and go to the right, then we can have just like a nice light fixture. It looks very, very modern, and it just looks very at home with everything else that we have here. If we move into the living / dining / open plan part of the house, we have a few things to add in here. So first of all, we need a TV. The TV is going to be against this wall here that we were just actually building, the armor stand. The TV is going to be one row away from the wall here, and the stand for the TV is going to be 2 back-to-back quartz stairs. We want a row of 4 black concrete directly on top of the stairs, and that overhangs it left and right, and we want another row on top. Place a painting in the middle, and there you have a television. What we then want to have is a coffee table. The coffee table is going to span the width of the TV, and it's going to be placed in between these two, this row of like white concrete. So what can we grab here? So we need a different set of materials. We'll need quartz slabs, we'll need bookshelves, we need white concrete, we'll need we'll actually leave the birch fence for a second. We'll need block of iron, cauldron, grey concrete, we'll need grey shulker boxes, and we'll also need quartz stairs. And basically the coffee table, like I said, in between these two windows, and it spans the width of the television, so just like this. We want to have a sofa. The sofa is just made out of quartz stairs, and it's the width of the coffee table, and it's 2 rows away from it. The ends of the sofa are going to be curved, the middle is going to be straight like this. Above the sofa on this back wall, we want to have bookshelves. So the bookshelves are very simply placed. We'll probably have like a row of 2 bookshelves just kind of like here in the back, just like one entire row off the wall, so probably like 2 rows off the floor, and just books like this, very simple. Leave a gap of 2, drop the shelves down towards the floor, and then just have another 2. Very, very simple. Cozy, modern, very big, very bright. Well, not so bright at the moment, but it will be. Very simple living room setup. I love that. It's so clean and simple, it looks great. What we now want to do is we want to start making some counters for our kitchen, because it's just over there. It's like a living, dining, kitchen area. In this corner here, we want to have a fridge. That is a 2x2 block of iron. We just want a 2x2 area of block of iron just in the back corner opposite to where we were just building. Right of this, we want a white concrete extending forwards. A cauldron. We then want to have 6 white concretes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maintaining a distance of 2 from these bookshelves. We then want to extend that 6th block across by 6 as well, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want to leave a gap of 1, and then we want to place 2 grey concrete, and we want to extend them to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, and we just want to have this area here. This is going to be a multi-purpose area, not a multi-purpose, whatever that means. And we want to have a little sink here. So just from the end here, we're just going to have a cauldron built in. We also want a table. So just from the end of this counter space here, we just want to leave a gap of 2. And then we want to place 2 more grey concrete and extend them across by 2 as well. So 2, 2, just like this. We want to have stairs, so we'll take the middle of this area and we'll have stairs on both sides of the middle, just like so. What else do we want to do? Well, we want to add some cupboards. These cupboards are very simple. They're placed on this long counter space here. We want to leave a gap from the bottom, and we want to place a row of 2 cupboards kind of just here. We want a 2x2 window in between the cupboards to provide us a little bit of light. And that will actually do. We're now going to grab all sorts of other stuff. We need loads of small materials here. Like we need some iron doors, we need weighted pressure plates, tripwire hook, levers, flower pot, lily of the valley or any flower, grey glazed terracotta, oak leaves. We even need some birch fence. We need more stuff as well. So where we have the fridge here where the block of iron is, can simply be made by placing iron doors. You don't even have to use you don't even have to use block of iron though. You can just use like grey concrete to have kind of like a more modern fridge. Above the sink area here, I want a tripwire hook, and I want weighted pressure plates to the left, and underneath these cupboards as well, just to make a bit of a specialized, maybe they're like cutting boards, or maybe they're a reinforced surface. Here where we have the cauldron, I kind of want to add a tap next to it, and that will just have a lever and a weighted pressure plate to the next of that. I want to place flower pots here just on the end of this counter space, and here where we have this table, and we can place some flowers in there too, so just to kind of like decorate a little bit. We're still adhering to kind of the color scheme using white flowers, but what we also want to do is we kind of want to create plates. I mean, weighted pressure plates really are, I mean, it's in the name, but weighted pressure plates. This is going to be placed in front of each one of the chairs that we have for our little dining room table. Against this row of white concrete here is actually going to be a breakfast bar. There's multiple ways that you can actually make these seats. You can use birch fence, but if you want more light, you can use end rods, and you can choose any carpet that you want to use. I'm thinking that might even have grey, so maybe just end rods as the base of as kind of like the bar seats. And if you use grey carpet, then again it kind of adheres to the colour scheme. Originally I used birch fence and red carpet, hence why I have the red, so it's kind of up to you. I'm just trying something a little bit different, and I implore you to do what you think looks best. What else do we have to do? Well, we of course have to fill in that little window there, so we will be needing some black stained glass pane just to get the window filled in. In the corner of the room, I have a plan. It's very simple. It's a glazed terracotta with birch fence on top and a couple of leaves on top of that. And we're getting to the point here where the room is actually quite nice and full. It's got that really nice modern vibe, and it's getting quite full. Something that you might want to add is these cool hanging lanterns from the ceiling. So this is basically where this counter space is here, where you would do some, like, you know, some sort of oven cooking stuff. I don't cook, I don't know what you use in kitchens, but this is basically like, okay, I am kidding a little bit. Above here, it's nice to have some hanging lights, so maybe like birch fence, maybe if we leave like a gap of 2, and then kind of like here have 2 hanging fence, or we could even have that in reverse, maybe like 2 here and then 1 there, since that's essentially above the plant pot, and we can just hang some lanterns down, and this just looks like a very modern form of lighting, some kind of like hanging string lights, and that actually provides enough light that, I mean, this is pretty much done. If you want to add a little bit more light, you can use a bit of a variance here. We can use some end rods, and we can kind of use the same strategy that we kind of like did before, which is placing end rods kind of in a staggered fashion. So if you kind of like choose a center point to where you want the light, so like here, and then if you leave like a gap like diagonally, you can place off to the side like 2 end rods, and you can do the same the other way, and it actually looks really modern, and it actually covers quite a large span of room as well, so I really like that. And that's pretty much the dining room, ladies and gentlemen. This is the entire downstairs. At the very end of the video, I'll probably show you how to make some cars, probably maybe even a motorcycle, we'll see, and we'll fill that garage up. But for now, this is the entire downstairs. The only thing that you might want to do is, as I mentioned, you may want to fill the armor stand in with something. So that's kind of completely up to you. If you want it to be crazy, which I would fully endorse, you'd use like iron on the armor stand because it kind of like fits the color scheme. But you don't have to be that insane. But you can be that insane if you want to. I won't stop you. But now that the entire downstairs is done, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy with how it's turned out. It looks great to me. We can now head upstairs. Okay, we're going to get some different materials, ladies and gentlemen. Here are all of the materials that we are going to be using on the upstairs of our house. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials, enough of them, or some sort of substitute if you would prefer something else. Bear in mind that we will have already had some of these materials already anyway. I'm sorry about that, but this is what we're going to be using upstairs. So now that we have all of our stuff, we can get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is tackle the landing. The landing's pretty simple. There is a table on the landing. It is against the left wall here. You can place it anywhere. I'll place it 1 row away from the window with an end rod on top for light and a glazed terracotta on top to make a lamp. On the right side is a shelf. The shelf is not going to be made just yet because we don't have the materials in in a hot bomb. But what we can make is a rug. So the rug is actually going to start from the corner of this table here where I've just placed it. The rug is going to be made primarily out of white carpet. It's going to come all the way over to the right, and we'll probably stop it 2 rows away from this wall, so it's quite equivalent to the opposite side. Let's add the other row of white carpet here. And then we'll just chunk out a couple of blocks, literally just a couple. Maybe a dark grey one here, maybe a light grey one there. That'll look just fine. I like how that looks. On the landing here, I like the idea, I'm going to try this, of a flower pot with, I'm going to put a wither rose. I don't know whether I like the wither rose or not, but I do like the colour of it, so we're going to keep it. I want a window. The window is going to span the width of the... basically just where we have the stairs, it's just going to kind of like span the width of the stairs here, and it's going to be 2 rows. You could even reduce it to just the 1, but I like the idea of having a lot of light, so that's kind of up to you. Now we can add the shelf that I was going to add. So the shelf is very, very simple. It's just made out of quartz slab, lantern, chest. Later on we'll need painting, grey concrete, grey glazed terracotta. We'll also need emeralds, birch, plank and a button, and white beds as well. But for the shelf, against this wall, 2 rows off the ground essentially, triple wide shelf, chest on it, lantern, boom. Very simple, clean looking landing, has quite a lot going on but doesn't look messy, really like it. What else do we need to do? Well, in the hallway here, I like the idea of having, I can't remember the specific name of this, where you have like 3 paintings in a row that are kind of conjoined, but there's a gap between them. You guys might know what it's called, but I actually can't remember the name of this. I want to have a triple painting setup. It's basically just like a single painting, and a single painting. So I don't want any repeats either, and we actually just got one, so that will do just like that. And I really like that, so just like a... whoops. I really got upset when I destroy stuff. It really does put a kind of like a wrench in the machine. So just 3 triple paint. It looks quite nice just having the single paintings kind of like stacked next to each other. I'm going to change the position of the entrance into the bathroom so that we have a gap either side of the paintings. I'm going to chuck a lamp at the end of this hallway with a grey glazed terracotta like this. Alternatively, you could have a double window and you could perhaps place like a little cabinet below it, something like that if you wanted to. That is the hallway though, that is the landing, that's all nice and done. So we're now going to head into the bedroom. So the bedroom's quite simple to make as well, just as hopefully everything has been quite simple. Against this wall here, closest towards the landing, we want 2 birch planks extending inwards from both sides. We want a double white bed in between the birch plank areas. We want buttons extending outwards from the birch planks. We want to create a lamp on one of these sides here, or you could have both sides. It's quite common to have lamps on both sides. You can place your ender rods and your glazed terracottas. I want there to be a painting above the bed. I'm specifically, no, that one is all right, not that one. I want the white and black and grey one because again, it kind of fits with the theme. That one, perfect, love it, fantastic. So now that we kind of have like the bed and we have our lamps, you could even offset the lamps if you wanted to. You could have them on the inside, you could have one on the left, one on the right, doesn't really matter. In front of the bed area, we actually want a carpet, a rug, white carpet, grey carpet and light grey carpet. If you leave a gap of 1 between the bed and you place say like a 2x2 square of white and extend it out on the left and right sides like this and add a grey carpet and a light grey carpet to it anywhere that you want in it, as long as it's kind of spaced apart, that'll look great. In the middle of the 2 carpets on the other end, we want 2 birch planks and we want to place black concrete on top of them and paint a painting as well. So we want black concrete on top of the birch, and this is a television, so you can have whatever you want. That's quite a nice bright painting, so I'm quite happy with that. On this back wall here, we have wardrobes. We have one on the left and one on the right. They're comprised of a 2x2 square of birch planks. we want to place... How do we want to do this? Let me grab everything that I think we'll need. So, quartz stairs, definitely need. We need quartz stairs. We need a flower pot. We need flowers. We need lanterns. We will need end rods, and we will also need birch signs to finish off this room. So, in between the two wardrobes is going to be a table. It's made out of back-to-back quartz stairs. Oh, we need glass too. We need glass pane. Back-to-back quartz stairs. Feel free to place a flower on the table. Maybe one that's a little bit more colourful than the with a rose. But again, I'm learning to like it, really. I'm going to leave a gap of one. I'm going to place a stair to represent a chair. Lanterns on top of the wardrobes like this will brighten things up a bit. Oh, did we miss the birch doors? These are going to be the wardrobe doors. They're going to be placed into the birch planks that we placed. So, looking pretty good. You can see there's a definite theme. There's a colour theme to this bedroom that's a little bit different than the rest of the house. I want a window in here too. The window is going to span the distance between the two wardrobes. It's going to be above them, and it's going to be a single row of black glass pane. And it looks pretty good in here. Again, there's no need to crowd these rooms. They're nice and open. They're meant to be open. They don't want to be too full. The only thing you may want to do is add a light, a hanging light. I actually have a cool design for one, or at least I think it's cool. Okay, so essentially the way that this works is, let's see. So on the left and right side of this TV, yeah, if you imagine that we can build up to the left and right side of the TV, like if you extend all the way up to the ceiling and left and right, we want to place end rods. So you can see that they're kind of placed on the left and right side of the TV. I want you to place the end rods as well on the opposite side here. So like going with the shape of the roof, end rods positioned left and right of the TV, leave a gap of one, we want the same thing. We want to then place quartz slabs, which we do have here. We want to place them underneath, or maybe we want to drop them down another. We may want to drop the end rods down another row. Yeah, okay, we're going to drop two end rods down, and then underneath the end rods, we're going to place quartz slabs. One moment. Here, we're going to place quartz slabs. They're going to join all the way around together in kind of like a rectangular formation like this. And we're going to place birch signs, just like this, just around the quartz slabs. And it just makes a very modern light fixture. And it helps to... Where did that get placed? Oh, on top of the TV. I was looking for the sign, and it's like, that's not where it's supposed to be. It's just a very modern looking light for... What? Why has everything got to be so difficult? It's just a very modern looking light fixture. It kind of like fits the colour of the room, and I just really like it. You might not like it, feel free to remove it. Anyway, we're going to head inside of the bathroom now. So, when it comes to the bathroom, we can use a lot of the materials that we already have. So we're going to try our best to kind of like use everything that we've got, and then we'll need some more stuff. But to start with, for the bathroom, we're going to need quartz stairs. We will need flower pots. We will need light grey banners, white banners. We will need we already have the stairs. We will need block of iron. We will need cauldron. We will need the buttons. We will need the carpets as well. We'll do the carpets last. We will need birch wood planks, and we will need birch buttons. Okay, let's get started. There is a bath. The bath is right at the end here, in this corner. I want the bath to be made out of upside down quartz stairs. This is difficult to achieve. It's difficult to place a quartz stair upside down in the corner here without using another block. So I want two upside down quartz stairs extending from this corner here, like here, two upside down quartz stairs. The second quartz stair, we want to extend it forwards by 3. So like 1, 2, 3, and then into the wall like this. We can destroy that block there. Perfect. There's going to be a tripwire hook placed against the wall, but there is kind of like flower pots, which can be shampoo bottles or something different, whatever, like shower gel or whatever you might use to clean yourself. You could even use like a little bit of sponge or something like that if you wanted to, just to kind of like add an effect to it, or like yellow carpet. Anyway, against this is going to be 2 towels, so light grey banner and a white banner. In the corner here, we have to once again place a dreaded upside down quartz stairs facing inwards to the corner. In front of that, a cauldron. On top of the stair, a block of iron. Left of the stair, a button, or left of the block of iron, a button. Later on, pressure plate and a trapdoor on top of that. Now that we've done that, we can head towards the opposite corner here, which we've not really worked on. Place a birchwood plank in the corner and extend it forwards by 2. Extend the plank to the right and place 2 cauldrons. Finish up by placing 2 birchwood planks. We're going to have a window. The window is just going to sit directly in the center of the wall like this. What can we place here? I want to place a couple of flower pots in the corner here. We could even have, say, like a lantern if we wanted to, perhaps like on the end. We can use... Oh, we also need white carpet too. Oh, we do have tripwire hooks. I must be crazy. Where did they come from? Okay, so we want a tripwire hook leading into the bath here. I don't even... I guess I must have picked them up. I didn't know that we had them. Tripwire hook leading into the bath as a tap, and above this double sink here too. We want to grab the carpets to make a little bit of a rug once again. The rug's kind of going to sit in between the area between the bath here and kind of like all of this counter space. It's just going to be like I think a 3x3 rug, kind of like this. I'm going to make one corner of the rug grey carpet and one corner of the rug light grey carpet. We can even have a little painting in here. It even sort of looks like a mirror if you get the right one. Not that one. That one. Sort of, kind of, to me, kind of sort of looks like a mirror. You gotta use your imagination. I'm gonna place a few buttons just along these cabinets, just so it looks like they can be opened. And we already have black stained glass pane here. And we can also add light as well. It's actually nice and bright anyway, but using kind of like the effect of the... using the end rods, we can kind of create like a little bit of a light fixture, kind of like this, a bit of an abstract light. You could even have them dangle perhaps a little bit lower if you wanted to. When you start adding like 3 to it, I mean, it does kind of just look a little bit more like a light actually, and adding another one, like the metal separation kind of looks like where you would put a bulb, so it looks fine to me. What else can you do in here? So we're actually, we need so little materials, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm just going to grab them, and I'm going to grab them and hope that I remember to add them onto the end of the last list. Fingers crossed. Okay, so what do we need? Again, so few materials. We need oak trapdoor. We need stone pressure plate, weighted pressure plate, and we need something to put into the flower pots. I'm getting a bit sick of the wither rose, so maybe the lily of the valley again. We only need these 4 materials. I'm sorry if I didn't include them. So fill up those 2 flower pots with those. Weighted pressure plate here. We want to add an oak trapdoor onto the toilet and a stone pressure plate. And that's it. That's all you've got to add. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've actually completed the house. The only thing that you may want to do is add a couple of cars to the garage, or at least one car. Maybe a car, maybe a motorcycle, something like that. So, in here, I actually have a tutorial for this. I actually have 2, which are really fast, and they'd let you do it really, really easily. I'll tell you what. If you want to add any cars to this garage, perhaps even a motorcycle, because I've got tutorials for that as well, check in the card system, check in the description below, maybe even check at the top of the comment section. I might put it there too. I'll leave a link to tutorials to show you how to make loads of different cars and motorcycles as well, and feel free to just choose which of those you'd like to put in here. I'm going to add a couple now, and when I show you the entire house in just a second, then they'll be in this garage, but you'll be able to find separate tutorials for them, nice and easy. Ladies and gentlemen, we've actually completed the entire house though. The entire inside's been filled in, we've done the garden, I'm going to add the cars to the garage, and I just want to show you what the entire build looks like, all complete and put together. So the step-by-step tutorial portion of this is done. I just want to wrap things up and I want to take a look at what we've managed to build. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what all of our hard work looks like. Before, we had an empty vessel, and now we have the entire front of the house done, we have the entire back of the house done, and I am really looking forward to what we have done on the inside, because it's going to be the first time that we have seen it all put together. So without any further ado, let's head in the front door and let's see it all. So first of all, the hallway, looking fantastic. We have our lights, we have our rug, we have a little bit of armor to the right and some storage. To the left inside the garage, I did decide to add a motorcycle, which is a little bit taller than the car, which is kind of funny. I probably should have made a different motorcycle. And we have kind of like a sports car that's a little bit modeled on Bumblebee from Transformers. I should have probably have made a different style of bike because it looks a bit ridiculous it's as tall as a car, but still. Tutorials for those, card system, description below. As we head through into the dining room, I really love this area because it's so big, there's so much going on, but it's not crammed or messy at all. We have our kitchen with a dining room table, we have our counter space, we have a fridge, we have work units, we have a sink, we have cupboards. Over here we have our living room, very simple. We have books and a television. It's all nice and well lit, and we can go to the back door if we want to, nice and easily. As we come upstairs, we have access to our halls and landing, which is really great. Nice and well lit up. We have a rug, we have our light, we have storage. We can even go to the balcony. We have two options of room upstairs. We can come to the bedroom here, which is looking just so nice and so bright. I love the design. It's simplicity at its best. It really is. With our table, television, wardrobes. We have our bedside tables and stuff, looking fantastic. And finally, as we come into the final room of the house, the bathroom, we have our bath, we have our toilet, we have towels on the wall, we have sinks, rugs, counter space again, just nice big open doors and windows. I really love the interior. I hope that you guys have enjoyed making it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me in the channel out very much. If you're new around here, please do consider subscribing and clicking the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you want to see anything else by me, check out the card system description down at the top of the comment section for more. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.